always thought betrayal would come in whispers. A secret text. A late-night call. A scent of cologne that wasn't mine. But when it came, it wasn't hidden. It was announced like a toast at a family dinner. That night, laughter echoed around the table. My parents were visiting, her mother sat at the end, and our plates were half filled with the roast she insisted on making the old-fashioned way. It was one of those evenings meant to feel like love, family, comfort, shared stories, except the air carried something else. Something sharp. "Remember when you used to burn everything you cooked?" her brother teased. Everyone laughed except me. I just smiled faintly, my eyes fixed on her. Anna, my wife. She was radiant that night, her hair loose around her shoulders, her laugh light. But beneath the surface, I'd felt it for months, the distance. Her phone turned face down. The quick replies that ended with "busy, talk later." The scent of a man's cologne on her jacket once, brushed off as a coworker's hug. I didn't say anything then. I told myself I was imagining things. That love, like faith, required a little blindness. Then came the moment that shattered the illusion. It started with a harmless topic, her family reminiscing about old friends. Someone mentioned Ethan. Her ex. "Oh, Ethan," her mother said fondly, sipping her wine. "He was always so polite. What's he doing these days?" Anna smiled, not awkwardly, not with discomfort, but warmly, like remembering something precious. "He's doing well," she said softly. "We talk sometimes. He's been going through a rough patch." I felt my stomach tighten. My mother glanced at me, a flicker of curiosity in her eyes. "You still talk to him?" she asked gently. Anna nodded, her tone casual. "Of course. My ex will always be part of my life." The words fell into the room like a thunderclap. For a moment nobody spoke. The clinking of silverware stopped. My father coughed awkwardly. And I just sat there, every nerve in my body screaming to say something, to react, to ask her what the hell she meant by that. But I didn't. I smiled. Slowly. Carefully. And said, "Well, that's interesting, Anna. I didn't know we were keeping parts of our pasts alive in our marriage. Should I start calling my exes too?" The table went silent. Her brother's eyes darted between us. My mother put down her fork. Anna blinked. "Daniel, come on. Don't make it weird." "It's not like that." "Then what is it like?" I asked softly. My tone was calm, too calm, the kind of calm that only comes before something breaks. She hesitated. "We're just friends. You know that. I've told you before." "No, you haven't," I interrupted. My voice was still steady. "You've told me you don't talk to him anymore. That's what you said last spring, remember?" A faint blush crept up her neck. "I didn't think it mattered. He was having a tough time. I was being kind." "Kind," I repeated. "Right." Her mother tried to intervene. "Sweetheart, maybe we should." But I raised a hand. "No, it's fine. I'd actually like to hear more about how kindness works between exes while you're married. Does it involve secret texts? Meeting after work? Late night calls?" Her eyes widened. "You went through my phone? The accusation? The shift? Always the same tactic. Turn the blame." I leaned forward, my voice low. "No. But when a message flashes on your screen that says, 'I miss you too,' you don't have to go through much." Gasps. Forks dropped. My mother's hand flew to her mouth. Anna's breath caught. "It wasn't. It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" I asked. "Because I've been thinking for months, Anna. Wondering why you pull away when I hold you. Why you smile at your phone and hide it. Why you started wearing that perfume again, the one you told me he bought you years ago." She looked cornered, her lips trembling. "Daniel, it's complicated." "Marriage isn't supposed to be complicated," I said. "It's supposed to be honest." Silence hung heavy, pressing down on everyone. Her mother looked down, ashamed. My father shifted uncomfortably. Finally, Anna whispered, "It wasn't an affair. I just needed someone to talk to. You've been so distant lately, so focused on work." I laughed bitterly. "So I pushed you into his arms? Is that what you're saying?" Her voice cracked. "No. I didn't think it would go this far." My chest tightened. "Go this far." "So it did go somewhere," I said, the words scraping out like glass. Tears welled in her eyes, and in that moment, I didn't know if I wanted to scream or cry. The woman I loved, the one I built my life around, sat across from me confessing with silence. My mother whispered, "Daniel, maybe we should talk later." But I shook my head. "No, Mom. This is exactly the time. Because for once, everyone gets to see what perfect marriage looks like behind the photos." I turned to Anna, my voice soft again. Too soft. "You know, I used to think loyalty was natural. Like breathing. You don't have to remind someone you're theirs. You just are. But I guess I was wrong." She looked shattered, but I didn't feel pity. Not yet. Just exhaustion. I stood up, grabbed my glass of water and said quietly, "You said your ex will always be part of your life, Anna. That's fine. He can have that part. I won't compete for it anymore." And then I raised my glass, not in toast but in farewell. To the parts of ourselves we lose when we choose someone who doesn't choose us back. No one moved. No one spoke. The only sound was the slow ticking of the dining room clock. I walked out. Later that night, when the anger cooled and the house was silent except for the rain against the window, she came to our bedroom. Her voice was hoarse. "Daniel, please. I made a mistake. I didn't mean for it to." I turned toward her. Her eyes were red, her hands shaking. "You didn't mean for it to happen," I said quietly. "But you meant to hide it. You meant to keep me in the dark. That's what hurts the most." She sank to the floor sobbing. "I didn't sleep with him. I swear. I just missed who I used to be. He reminded me of that." I sighed, my throat tight. "Then maybe you should go find that version of yourself again, the one before you promised to be mine." Her face crumpled. "You're really leaving?" "I don't know," I said honestly. "But I know I can't stay tonight." I packed a small bag and left. The rain followed me out, cold and relentless, the same way betrayal seeps into your bones. Slowly, quietly, until you realize it soaked through everything you loved. Weeks passed. She sent messages I didn't answer. A letter came once, handwritten, saying she'd cut off all contact with him, that she missed me, that she'd do anything to fix it. But some things don't mend. They just scar. I still remember that dinner vividly, the flicker of candlelight on her face, the way everyone froze, and the moment I realized love can die not with shouting, but with a sentence said too casually. "My ex will always be part of my life." Maybe she was right. Maybe he always would be. And so would the silence that followed.